Hey guys, it's Rob Sutton from Bike198.com. Today we're taking a look at the WeirWolf 2.3 UST from WTB. At 860 grams, this tire is really designed to be more of an all-mountain type tire that can also handle some light free ride. Your cross-country riders to light all-mountain riders might be a little bit put off by the weight, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that this is a UST tire as well. If you take a look at the overall profile of the tire, you can see there's your typical hot patches here for the branding. But for a 2.3 tire, it's not exactly as tall as I was hoping it would be. You've got a nice amount of volume width-wise, but with the UST casing, I like to see a little bit taller profile. But it's not short by any means, so it's a little bit of grip, but not much. With this tire, you get, as far as the design goes, you get the very stout, very durable UST sidewall that works with a regular UST bead like you find for the Mavic rims, and it also works well with this NoTubes.com Stans DTR Flow. So you have some options as far as tubeless go, or you can run it with tubes as well. But just know that some of that 860 grams is built into this thicker sidewall and thicker bead for the UST design. The tread pattern on this tire is actually kind of a match set tread pattern coming all the way down the center. With ramp side knobs in pairs going down the middle, a very defined transition knob, and then side knobs in triplicate running down the side that are actually staggered off, falling backwards as far as how the rotation of the tire goes. The center knobs are ramped as well as the transition knobs, and you get a lot of support for these side knobs running about a quarter of the way down the sidewall. Now, we ran these tires, both a front and rear tire, on this Turner 5-spot with a Lyric installed, and as well as a Talus, in conditions ranging from your smooth hard pack cross-country conditions all the way up to wet technical runs that had really long climbs with really long downhills. As far as a front tire goes, this WTB WeirWolf does a great job of cornering if you're in dry to semi-loose technical situations. A lot of that has to do with the fact that there's a very pronounced transition knob with great support coming from these triple side knobs when you're coming from a upright riding position and getting ready to go into hard cornering. Having the tread that comes all the way through that transition period made it stick like Velcro through hard pack and really kind of semi-technical to technical situations that were dry. We were able to lean the bike all the way in and not worry about that mid-level slide that came into the from the transition down into the side knobs. At 860 grams, you do feel this tire a little bit on the rear end, especially on any kind of 5.5-inch bikes. If you're on a 6.5-inch and higher bike, you won't notice it as much. But the rolling resistance is aided by these ramped knobs in the middle of the tire. So we found the tire to be very fast rolling actually in hard pack conditions, and provided adequate grip in dry conditions when trying to get up and over technical obstacles in the trail. Where this tire does not do well is where you'll find in muddy conditions or really wet conditions. With the thick sidewall and the very hard cornering knobs you have here, when the roots got wet, it had a hard time wrapping around roots and wanted to slide off the top of them. In dry conditions, it didn't matter as much because the DNA rubber would find grip, but once it got wet, it wouldn't wrap around some obstacles, kind of like we would like. Now, a lot of that has to do with how closely spaced these knobs are. We also ran into a little bit of an issue with ice and mud wanting to pack in. If you're looking for a tire that's going to perform well in wet, you're really going to want something that has larger, more well-spaced knobs, maybe like the Stout out of the WTB line. But as far as it goes for technical situations and from hard pack to technical dry, this tire performed really well. We were really happy with it. The UST bead and UST sidewall really prevented any kind of pinch flats, and we had no problems with any kind of punctures. So really thick rubber, really durable tire, rolls fast in nice flat sections with hard pack trail due to the ramp knobs. And overall, just a really solid tire out of WTB. We were really happy with this product, and we actually run it now on the back of this 5-spot as far as one of the tires we run for the test bikes. So check out the 2.3 WeirWolf in the tubeless, and they have 2 other options as well for their new tubeless system. So give it a check, and that's all we've got for today. So thanks for listening. This is Rob Sutton from Bike198.com.